What is up, world? I am the Hungarian Experiment, and today we are going to discuss intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting, and how have I been experimenting with it over the last 3 to 4 years? Now, I've been seeing some amazing results, and I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to master it, so I believe it is time to show the world all the amazing benefits that come along with intermittent fasting and the procedures that I use to get the results that I want. So as I talk about what intermittent fasting is, in the background here, I'm going to display the sources where I learned and researched most of my findings with intermittent fasting. That way, if you guys are very interested, you can go pick up some of these books, check out some of these YouTube channels or these websites and find out for yourself. But to put it plain and simple, intermittent fasting is just being aware of the times that you are eating and keeping it within a certain window consistently day to day. Either you're in a period of the day where you're eating or you are fasting. This helps to document your body as well as having many great benefits in balancing hormone production, which I believe, and I am going to prove as the Hungarian Experiment, also has fat loss and muscle building benefits. Now, there are many different windows you can experiment around with, so make sure you go do the research for yourself. But I'm experimenting to get the most optimal results I can. So, over the last 3 to 4 years, I've researched many different sources until I reached my current plan. A 5 to 7 hour eating window tailored around my workout for maximum muscle growth. If you want more details, then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and follow some of my day-to-days where I show you my whole day, whether it's a low-calorie day or it's a cheat day. I show you my whole process. I show you where I go to the gym, the times and the foods that I eat, and I also try to make it a little entertaining for you guys. So make sure you follow along and check those out for a very detailed day-to-day of how I eat. So just to start off here, I want to show you guys the amazing fat cutting results I've seen with intermittent fasting. This is me on February 10th. I believe it's about 2 days after that Pizza Hut $5 deal challenge. As you can see, I managed to stay quite lean over the winter. I still have my serratus showing, but not much for the obliques, as you'll see when I turn to the side here. Don't have much for obliques. But after a month of intermittent fasting, this is the results I have now. I managed to cut about 2 to 2.5 pounds of fat, and you can really see my obliques coming through here, especially when I turn to the side. Now, I managed to cut this fat and still eat like crap. I have these huge crazy cheat days where I basically eat whatever the hell I want. For instance, here's one cheat day coming up. I went to the restaurant, I got a double cheeseburger with a poutine on the side and 2 Budweiser beers. Then I went to the variety store, I got myself a gigantic bag of Sour Patch Kids and still managed to have a whole bunch of other goodies. On another cheat day there, I had 8 cheese-infused sausages, a meal size worth of meat tortellini, a whole pack of Sour Patch Links, and a small box of sour watermelons, and then I managed to have 6 of these delicious donuts from Tim Hortons. Now, the procedure that I followed to get these amazing fat cutting results was fairly simple. My maintenance calories are right around 23 to 2,500 calories. I find that if I get that many calories in my diet, whether it is high protein, low carb, high fat, low fat, if I hit that range of 23 to 2,500 calories every single day, I will start to cut fat over time. Now, I don't like to do things that slow. I don't like it to take 2 or 3 weeks to see results, and I get cravings. I want to eat my food that I like and I enjoy. For myself, I can't have a tiny bit of something I like and I enjoy. If I'm going to have a cookie, I need to have the whole box of cookies. If I have a Sour Patch Kid, I need to have the whole big bag of Sour Patch Kids. I can't just have 2 or 3. It is just not my personality. It is just not who I am. If I do something, I do something big. The procedure that I followed to get these fat cutting results was fairly simple. All I did for the first couple weeks, because I haven't experimented around with it before, is I went through a low day and then a high day. My low days would consist of around 2,000 to 2,100 calories, and my high day would be around 23 to 2,500 calories. So I'd have a day where I'm really cutting fat, and then I'm just slightly cutting fat or possibly not. And I'd go back and forth and back and forth. I did that for about 2 weeks straight because I've never done that before in my intermittent fasting cycle, and I wanted to see the results I could get. Although I did get good results, it really affected with my emotions and my mood. I found that on my high days I felt really good, but on my low days I felt really crappy. So after doing that for about 2 weeks, I realized that is just something that I did not like. It did not coincide with my lifestyle. So time to change it up. The way I changed it up, because I want to see these results, is I went back to what I already know. I wouldn't worry too much about protein. I'd just make sure I'd get my minimal range in, and if I went higher, then that's fine. But I'd always make sure I kept my carbs and my fat level within a decent range. So what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks is that same thing. I'd go 4 low days, very low carb, and then I spike it with a huge cheat day, where I get to eat all the foods I've been craving. Things like pizza, Sour Patch Kids, sour watermelons, cheese sausages, anything and everything I've craved over the weeks, I ate it, and I still managed to cut fat. So that's how I'm experimenting with intermittent fasting for fat cutting results. Now, I also believe that this coincides with building muscle as well. With the way I eat and the fact that I'm eating an hour or so after the gym rather than when my body wants it in the morning or later at night, I am priming my body to grow muscle. Although it's only been a couple months that I've been documenting everything with this channel, I am going to show you that at the end of this year that I can be in a caloric deficit for about 70% of the year, yet I am still gonna put on muscle. What I'm experimenting around with this year for increasing muscle is developing my inner and lower pecs as well as my legs. So that is gonna be the greatest improvement you guys will see. And my goal as the Hungarian experiment is to prove that over this year, I can be cutting fat and putting on muscle at the exact same time. When I was growing up and learning about muscle building and fat loss cutting, one of the things that I constantly read is that bodybuilders would force themselves to wake up in the morning, in the middle of the night, just to get more protein in their system. They'd go slam some Greek yogurt or have a protein shake and then go back to bed. And for some reason, this was one of the first things I learned, and it just stuck with me for life. I would always think, I'm gonna lose muscle if I'm not getting a high protein meal in before bed because my body's gonna go into a catabolic state over the 8 hours that I'm sleeping. Now that I do intermittent fasting, I realize that is just a whole bunch of hoopla. It's dumb, it's the silliest crap I've ever heard of. 2 months ago, I did a 36-hour fast. I didn't get any food in my system for 36 hours. And then I went to the gym, I did a whole workout, I came home, and I ate all my food after that within about 5 to 6 hours. Did it look like I lost muscle mass? In my opinion, I did not lose muscle. I think that is silly. I think it takes multiple days of being in a starvation diet for you to lose muscle mass. Kind of like what you see on Survivor, where they're only eating a little bit of rice, a little bit of fish, and they're doing physical activity throughout the whole day. That is when you're gonna start to lose muscle mass. But if you're eating your food right after the gym and you're priming your body to do the best, then you're gonna see results. You're gonna get results. And as long as you're experimenting and documenting every single day, you can only get better. So in my opinion, eating every 2 to 3 hours is silly. If you want to balance your hormone levels, increase muscle mass, and decrease fat, then I believe it is very important to eat in a window. Be aware of when you're eating and what you're eating, the times that you're eating, and make sure you're feeding your body when it needs it, not when your body wants it. Don't give in to the temptation and desire of your body. Oh, I'm feeling hungry, I need to eat. You need to know when your body is actually hungry, when your mind is actually hungry and needs those carbs, and needs sugar to power it to get through the next couple hours. Most of you people are probably going around every single day going, oh, there's no way I can go to the gym without eating first, or I can't go to work without having my breakfast first. That is because you've been doing that for the last 20, 25, 30 years straight. Your body's just used to it. You need to change it up. You need to affect it. It's going to be very hard in the beginning, but once you get there, you will see the results. I guarantee it. Now, whenever I look at the human body, I always try to put ourselves way, way back into our ancestors' state. Now, there's so much different environment all over the world that it's hard to look at exactly what we ate, the types of foods, what nuts we got in, what sources of protein we got, what sources of carbs we got. But I believe there's a way for us to look into how we ate, the times that we ate. When we were first starting out as human beings and they first started hunting and gathering and forming into communities, do you really think they were eating every 2 hours? Do you really think that they had food on them all the time, that they had things going on? No. In my opinion, what they did is that they probably hunted and gathered throughout most of the day. They probably had a decent sized lunch. They would rest for a little bit and then have a dinner, probably around nighttime because it was safer and everyone could be in the community together. So they probably only had about 2 big meals in the day. On top of that, you have to look at hunting and gathering. When you have a big hunt, do you really think that they preserved the food for multiple days so that everyone would have food? There was nowhere to store it. They didn't have fridge and freezers. So in my opinion, from what I've learned and researched over the past, if a tribe is gonna go for a big hunt and they're gonna get a whole bunch of food, that's like their cheat day. They're gonna get a whole bunch of protein, a whole bunch of carbs, all this stuff for a day or two. It's gonna spike their levels up. There's no way that they had 22 to 2,500 calories every single day. In my opinion, that is just crazy. Until they had fridges and freezers and proper agriculture, there's no way. They must have had spikes, highs and lows throughout their week, throughout their month. So that is what I'm trying to apply onto my life to see the results I can get and show it to you guys as well. So if you guys like what you saw here today, you maybe learned a little bit of information, then please go down and hit that like button. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my channel. I am the Hungarian Experiment.